Reports of dangerous levels of carbon monoxide inside homes after Hurricane Ida prompts Jefferson Parish to conduct a safety study of whole house generators. As Meg Gatto explains, while the equipment proved convenient for thousands of people without power, others say the fumes nearly cost them their lives.
Hurricane Ida's ferocious winds ripped up utility poles and knocked out power to more than 1 million people in the greater New Orleans area. Yet inside Sean Hebert's River Ridge house, he and his family still had all the comforts of home.
The generator kicked on right after we lost power and started running like it should, worked perfectly.
With AC and a cold fridge full of food, Hebert said things seemed to be all right until 3 days after the storm made landfall.
It was about 9:30 at night, the carbon monoxide detectors went off in my house. We didn't have any headaches, we didn't feel bad, nothing.
As a precaution, Hebert called the fire department.
They came out and immediately sensed high levels of carbon monoxide in the house.
He and his family got out as firefighters set to work airing out the home.
There's no telling how high the levels would have went throughout the night.
Firefighters also inspected his whole house generator set up on the side of his home, determining that's where the deadly fumes were coming from.
The generator is 20 inches from the side of the house, and by code you're supposed to be 18. So I exceed that. I don't remember the exact measurements, but I think it's 5 feet from the soffit. I exceed that. It's 5 feet from the windows. I exceed that. I got enough room to the property line. I got enough room to the vent.
Hebert says he's not the only one this has happened to. He claims to know of over a dozen people who had similar issues with carbon monoxide getting into their homes from generator use after Hurricane Ida.
It was more surreal, really scary actually, to think that this happened this way.
Paul LeBlanc credits carbon monoxide detectors with saving his family's lives.
Okay, the fireman came in through this way. He immediately got a reading on his meter, like literally just right here.
His parents have had this generator for 7 years and say they've never had a problem with it before. In fact, it was just serviced 3 months before the storm.
Very surprising. You think of the regular gas generators that are outside, people, hook a cord to it, and you think, well, okay, those are going to be the ones that's going to cause monoxide poisoning or whatever. We never expected from this.
We have to look at standby generators and see if we're doing things in the best way possible.
Jefferson Parish Councilman Scott Walker says he started hearing similar stories from some of his constituents after Ida and from the fire department.
There was a lot of confusion, like, how's this happening? Why am I dealing with this?
It kind of came to our surprise when we started getting calls on fixed generators.
So the parish is taking action.
You have to look at what you're doing and reevaluate things, and that's what our planning department is doing along with inspection and the East Bend Consolidated Fire Department. They're doing a study on the generators, the standby generators, the placement of them around homes, and just the safety element of it.
I was able to physically go on some of the scenes myself, take a look at certain ones and see problems.
East Bend Consolidated Fire Chief Dave Tibbett says in some cases the weather is likely to blame.
Even if the units are in a proper position, you're still dependent on the weather. Is the wind blowing it into the house, away from the house? Is there just not a lot of wind blowing at all that might make the vapors lay around and stay around and find a way to ease into your house?
That's exactly what Sean Hebert thinks happened. He remembers the air being very still the night his carbon monoxide detectors went off.
And that the carbon monoxide was coming in through the soffit, which I still have sealed off with visqueen, so that's where it was entering in.
Hebert contacted the manufacturer of the generator, who says it was improperly installed. He and his contractor contend they followed the instruction manual, and even the parish approved its placement. Every house is different. Is that part of the problem too, that, even though you have the parish come out and inspect it for a permit, you could have a different interpretation of the instruction manual, really?
I don't disagree with you. I think it's a problem.
A problem that Scott Walker hopes will be cleared up after the study is complete.
It could be a potential outcome that means generators are placed farther away from homes.
That's what Hebert is now in the process of doing.
It's being moved about 70 feet from where we are right now.
How much is that going to cost you to move it?
It's probably going to be about $3,000.
He offers this warning to anyone considering purchasing a whole house generator.
Just because your installer says they can install your generator in this specific spot because it meets code does not mean that you won't get carbon monoxide in your house. So choose your spot wisely and make sure you have carbon monoxide detector.
They could just save your life. Meg Gatto, Fox 8, Local First.
The manufacturer of the generators in this story, Generac, says safety is the company's #1 priority. It also points out that Sean Hebert's unit is exhausting into a structural corner where there is a window and soffits. Again, Hebert says his unit's placement was approved by the parish and was installed by a Generac dealer. Jefferson Parish leaders hope to meet this month to go over the study results and then present their findings to the full parish council.